So the story is set in This is the most happening place of You can find thousands of people going back and forth from their workplace to their home. Similarly, many students from different colleges roam around this area after their classes. It's not uncommon to see them having a chat with friends, or maybe in a heated argument with their friends about how much they hate their teachers. Our story begins here. We have two students, Samir and Seima, who study in the same university. He thinks, how could I tell her I like her? She takes out the same notebook, but she cannot find that beautiful line. She searches the entire notebook, but it's nowhere to be seen. Disappointed, she leaves the library. Little did she know, Samir had already taken that page out and put it somewhere safe. Why did she have to make a big deal out of it? He asks around and learns that she is at her home because she is sick. They graduated from university and started working. But no matter how busy they are, they always make time for each other. They attend weddings together, visit new places together, and enjoy every moment they can get. They prove to everyone that true love does exist. He goes to her house to check up on her. As he enters, he sees her lying in bed. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, let us know what you think about the story in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. She looks up and says, Samir, what are you doing here? He says, I came to check up on you. Are you all right? She says, yeah, I'm fine. Just a bit of fever. He says, let me get you some medicine. She says, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. He sits down beside her and says, you know, I'm really lucky to have you in my life. She looks into his eyes and says, I feel the same way about you. They look into each other's eyes for a long time. Suddenly, Samir leans in and kisses her on the forehead. She blushes and pushes him away. He gets up and says, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. She says, no, it's all right. I like it when you tease me. He smiles and says, good to know. He gets up to leave, but she stops him. She asks, Samir, will you promise me something? He says, what is it? She says, will you always be there for me, no matter what? He says, of course I love you, Seima. She replies, I love you too, Samir. He leaves after that. He sits down on a nearby bench to calm himself down. As he does, he takes out a pen and a paper and starts writing something. He folds the paper and keeps it inside his notebook. Then he puts the notebook back on the shelf. They often see each other around, but they never say hi to each other. She hurriedly runs towards the library. As she enters the library, she sees a guy sitting in a corner. Who is that? That is our boy. He hands her a letter and says, I think you dropped this yesterday. She takes the letter and reads it. It says, thank you for that line in your notebook. I want to be that person, the one who looks into your eyes so you know he loves you. She looks up and sees Samir standing there with a slight smile on his face. She smiles back and says, you're welcome. Then she turns around and goes away. All the books in her hand fall on the floor. She bends down to pick them up. He thinks, I finally told her I liked her. Now, she knows how I feel. As she does, she notices a notebook lying on the floor. As she enters, she sees Samir sitting in a corner. She walks up to him and says, Samir, I have something to ask you. He says, what is it? She says, if you really mean it, look into my eyes. I'll understand. He gets nervous and asks, what are you talking about? She replies, yesterday I read the letter you wrote to me. I wanted to confirm if you really meant it. He looks into her eyes and says, yes, I meant it. I like you, Seima. She smiles and says, thank you. She looks into his eyes and says, I like you too, Samir. He was over the moon. Finally, she likes him back. She picks it up and dusts it off. It was Samir's notebook. As she opens it, her eyes land on the last page of the notebook. They spend all their time together, either at the library or at their favorite hangout spot. Every day when they meet, they exchange sweet nothings. They talk about their dreams, their fears, and their feelings for each other. Samir is very happy. For the first time in his life, he feels like he can do anything. He feels like he can take on the world. And on that page was written a very beautiful line. Let me read it out for you. If someone loved me but couldn't say it out loud, would still know, if they looked into my eyes just once. Seima freezes after reading the line. She looks up, but Samir is nowhere to be seen. Seima runs out of the library and bumps into Samir. She asks him, did you write this? He gets startled and says, what? What are you talking about? She replies, this line, did you write this? He says, oh, this. No, I didn't write it. Yes, I did. She says, then why did you write such a beautiful line? He says, I don't know. I just thought it would be nice to write. She says, "No, you like me, don't you?" He gets nervous and stutters. "What? How did you?" She interrupts him and says, "Don't try to act cool now. I know you like me." He looks into her eyes and says, "Yes, I like you. But what does that mean?" She smiles and says, "Nothing. Just thought you should know." And with that, she turns around and goes away. He too is taking out a book from the shelf. Their eyes meet, and we all know what happens next. Both of them look away, trying to act as if they don't care. The reason for that is, Samir is a very quiet guy who likes to keep to himself. And Seema is the exact opposite. She's always happy, always talking with a different group of friends. But Samir and Seema both have one thing in common, and that is, they are secretly in love with each other. But neither of them has confessed their love yet. One day after class, Seema suddenly remembers that she has an assignment due the next day, but she totally forgot to do it. As Seema continues walking, she suddenly slips and falls. Samir feels embarrassed and annoyed. The next day, Seema comes to the library. As Seema walks out of the library, she bumps into Samir again. Samir feels a sense of relief. A few days later, Seema is walking towards the library. They start talking and soon become best friends. One day Samir comes to the library, but Seema is nowhere to be seen. A few years pass, and Samir and Seema are still together. The end. So the title of this short story is Love in the Last Line.